If you told me 2 years ago that I would fall for a spider, I'd probably believe you. But I didn't think I'd fall this hard. The 2021 season of anime has been really good. Like, crazy good. We've got tons of sequels and new stuff coming in with full hype, drama, and emotions, all done with amazing animation too. Makes it hard for my little bread brain to keep up. But that just means I've got a lot to binge after this is all over. Hopefully. But if there's one anime I went in with little expectations and ended up getting hooked on, eagerly awaiting each episode, it would be this. So I'm a Spider, So What? It's one of the new Isekai anime out this season. Isekai being a genre that has our main characters transported from the real world to an alternate fantasy world. It's a genre popularized thanks to anime such as Sword Art Online, No Game No Life, Overlord, and several others. It's also become a genre that's kind of oversaturated, getting a kind of stigma around them due to the fact that they all seem to have the same kind of concepts of overpowered protagonists, RPG elements, a harem of different female archetypes, and end up feeling generic and one note. There's also the fact that a majority of them that get released every season tends to be really bad, which has led to the anime community kinda looking down on the genre as a whole. But we still find ourselves drawn to them regardless, maybe either because we have hopes of them being good or we just want to make fun of how bad they are. However, I'm pleased to say So I'm a Spider, So What? Will not be one of those isekai we will be making fun of this season. The premise is rather easy to follow. One day, a random beam of light envelops an entire classroom, transporting everyone to an alternate world. Some get lucky, reincarnated as heroes or nobles born into high-class families, while others become pretty standard folk, or worse, monsters. Our protagonist gets the short end of the stick, however, being reborn as a spider. If you don't know a lot about RPGs, spiders are considered low-level enemies. Appearing at the starting areas of the game, they're pretty weak and don't really offer a lot, aside from giving you EXP. The show's premise is kinda similar to another isekai, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, which is pretty explanatory in its name. They share the idea of the main character as the weakest enemy in their respective worlds, and what they need to do to survive being born at the bottom of the food chain. In So I'm a Spider, So What? The main character, who would found him nicknamed Kumoko, in her previous life was a shut-in gamer who was bullied at school. When she's reborn, she's immediately thrown into danger right off the bat. She's faced with all sorts of terror, from trying not to be eaten by her kind to trying not to be eaten by predators. She's constantly on the edge, only getting little time to rest and properly understand her situation. She doesn't get too bummed out about the fact that she was reborn as a spider though, and doesn't bother trying to figure out why. She doesn't waste her time cursing her current life and how much it sucks, but instead immediately resolves to take the world on with guts and determination. Rarely do we ever get a female isekai protagonist, and one who's so energetic about everything too. This is conveyed perfectly thanks to the stellar performance by her voice actress, Aoi Yuki, who you may recognize as the voice actress of several characters such as Suyu from My Hero Academia and Tanya von de Gurachav from Yojo Senki. Aside from our main protagonist, we're also introduced to some secondary characters, her reincarnated classmates, who are also learning about the world. But to be honest, I kind of don't really care about what they're up to. And they aren't as engaging as watching what our little spider girl is doing. All I can tell is they're probably gonna have to fight her somewhere along the line. Now, I went into this show expecting a case similar to That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, where the main character, Rimuru Tempest, got a completely busted skill that lets him absorb pretty much any enemy, which kinda took away the tension from fights, making the outcome predictable. However, I was so wrong about this, and so was Kumoko herself. She expected a broken skill at the start of her journey to balance out her weakness, but that didn't really help much. Every battle she gets into was a literal fight for her life. She struggles against low-level enemies at the start, receiving major injuries in the process. Heck, in one of the later episodes, I thought she was gonna die at some point. These struggles make her eventual victories feel earned and her development more genuine, slowly but surely acquiring more powerful skills that will make her a force to be reckoned with, and that gets me excited. The show's pacing is also done well enough. It lets you feel Kumoko's progress organically, and how she's using the information she's acquired in the dungeon to survive, getting stronger with each episode. Though the show kind of feels a bit claustrophobic with how there's only ever 2 environments, the dungeon where Kumoko is and the magic high school place where the other characters are. It leaves me wanting to see more about the world they live in, but I guess that'll be in later episodes. Visually, the show looks pretty good, able to properly blend CG with 2D animations in a way that it's not as jarring compared to another CG anime currently airing this season. The 3D environments are well done, and making Kumoko CG was also a good call, cause it helps with displaying more movements, expressions, and it really sells her cuteness. Though not everything translates well into CG, as some of the monsters look odd. But if you're someone who doesn't mind CG in anime, then this is for you. So I'm a Spider, So What is definitely one of the anime you should be keeping your eye on this season. It's totally worth the watch, and if you are keeping up with it, leave a comment down below as to what your favorite part about it is. Just give a heads up if you're gonna post spoilers. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you aren't already, consider subscribing, as it would help me a lot. BreadHead out.